Okay, so this last one is Who's Back There? And this comes from one of my yoga tune-up colleagues, Trina Altman. This is really about thoracic rotation. So the thoracic spine is anything that has a rib attached to it. So from kind of the collarbones, neck area, down to the mid-back area. This has potential for a lot of movement, and yet sometimes people's thoracic spines have kind of gotten locked in and mimic the name that we give this area, right? The rib cage. They come like a cage and it locks us off, and that can limit our ability to breathe well, and it definitely limits our ability to move well. So I love this one because it really focuses on thoracic rotation. So it's not very dramatic in the amount of movement that's happening, but it's a lot of work. So I'm going to demonstrate it facing both ways so you can see what I'm doing from the front and what I'm doing kind of from the back. So you'll want your students to have 2 blocks or something to go in between the legs, in between the knees and the thighs to stabilize, right? So that they don't choo-choo one knee forward and one knee back and twist their pelvis. And then the other prop, you want a second prop, a block, or something to go on top of the elbow forearm that's going to go on the floor. So your student will need to be sitting in Vajrasana. So whatever props they may need underneath their shins and underneath their hips to do that, you can have them put those in place first. And then whatever direction your student is twisting. So for example, I'm twisting to the right. This block is going to go in front of my left knee. My left forearm, palm face up, so supinated, forearm is supinated, it's going to go here. My right hand will go, you can bring it to the center of the chest and just hold. I think in the directions it says half a namaste hand, like whatever, however you want your student to do that. Since it's in the directions, I'll demonstrate here. You want your student to start with a neutral spine, so not a rounded back and not an arched back, and including the head. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze in on the block in my thighs gently just to help stabilize my pelvis. I'm going to lengthen through my spine, press down into my shins and my left forearm. Take a breath in, and on exhale, I want to focus on twisting above the navel. And I'm going to let my head go for the ride, and I'm not going to turn my head at all. So again, it's not very dramatic, but it's very intense. Now, when I get to the end of rotation, I want to take the top shoulder blade and slide it towards my spine, and the bottom shoulder blade and slide it away from my spine. So this shoulder blade is retracting, and this shoulder blade is protracting. And then inhale and return. So exhale, so I'll turn so you can see me doing it in the other direction or from the other side. I'm going to be doing it in the same direction to the right, but now you'll see the back. So I bring myself into, I hinge at the hips, the spine stays neutral, forearm comes down on the block, right hand comes in front of the heart. I take a breath in, I lengthen, and on exhale, I begin to twist to the right. This shoulder blade protracts, this shoulder blade retracts. So I'll show it once again. Who's back there?